Imagine waking up every morning with a fortune hidden inside your head. A fortune so valuable that billionaires would trade everything they own for it. A fortune that costs nothing to access, but most people never even know it exists. This is not a metaphor. This is neuroscience. This is human potential. This is the most underused asset in the world. Today, I'm going to tell you a story, a true story in spirit, though the name has been changed. It's the story of a man named Arjun. Arjun had nothing, no money, no family support, no degree, no connections. He slept on a torn mat in a room the size of a closet. He ate once a day, sometimes less. He worked 14-hour days doing odd jobs that paid barely enough to survive. And every single night before he fell asleep, he whispered the same words to himself. I'm unlucky. Life is hard. Rich people are just lucky. This is my fate. And his life stayed exactly the same. Not because the world was cruel, not because he didn't work hard, but because his mind believed poverty was his identity. What Arjun didn't know was that the fortune hidden inside his head was about to wake up. Part 1. The Prison of Limiting Beliefs. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that two people can live in the exact same circumstances and end up in completely different places? Same neighborhood, same school, same opportunities. One becomes wealthy, the other stays poor. Why? The answer is not luck, it's not privilege, it's not even hard work alone. The answer is the invisible map inside their heads. Every human being walks around with an internal map. This map is made of beliefs. Beliefs about money, about success, about themselves, about what's possible and what's not. And here's the dangerous part. Most of these beliefs were installed before you turned 10 years old. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, the media, they all poured beliefs into your mind like water into a cup, and you never questioned whether those beliefs were true. Arjun believed money is hard to get. Rich people are greedy. I'm not smart enough. People like me don't become wealthy. And his brain, being the loyal servant that it is, found evidence for every single one of those beliefs. Every rejection letter proved I'm not smart enough. Every rich person who walked past him without helping proved rich people are greedy. Every month of struggling proved money is hard to get. This is what psychologists call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your brain filters reality to match what you already believe. If you believe the world is against you, your brain will find enemies everywhere. If you believe opportunities don't exist, your brain will become blind to them. If you believe you're poor, your brain will keep you poor. Arjun was not trapped by poverty. He was trapped by his beliefs about poverty. And the saddest part, he had no idea. Part 2. The night everything changed. One night, after another exhausting day of rejection, Arjun sat on a park bench. He had no energy to walk home. Rain was starting to fall. Next to him on the bench, someone had left a book. A torn, old book with a faded cover. Arjun almost ignored it, but something made him pick it up. He opened to a random page, and these were the words he read. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner beliefs. Change what you hold inside your mind, and your external reality must change to match it. Arjun read the sentence again, and again, and again. He looked at his empty wallet. He looked at his torn shoes. He looked at the rain. And for the first time in his entire life, he asked himself a question that changed everything. What if poverty isn't my fate? What if poverty is just my thinking? That night, Arjun did not sleep. He sat on that bench until sunrise, reading that torn book by the light of a distant street lamp. He learned something revolutionary that night. He learned that the human brain has a superpower called neuroplasticity. Big word. Simple meaning, your brain can rewire itself. Your beliefs are not permanent. Your thoughts are not destiny. You can change your mind, literally. He learned that wealthy people are not smarter than him. They just have different mental software, different beliefs about money, risk, failure, and opportunity. He learned that every thought he repeated became a neural pathway, and every neural pathway became a habit, and every habit became his reality. By morning, Arjun made a decision. He would not change his circumstances first. He would change his mind first. Part 3. Rewiring the Mind. The next morning, Arjun took out a small notebook. He wrote down every limiting belief he could find hiding in his head. I can't afford it. I'm not educated. Money doesn't grow on trees. I always fail. Rich people are lucky. Then, next to each one, he wrote a new belief, an empowering belief, a belief that felt uncomfortable and fake at first. I can't afford it. How can I afford it? I'm not educated. What can I learn today? Money doesn't grow on trees. Money flows to those who solve problems. I always fail. Every failure teaches me something valuable. Rich people are lucky. Rich people think differently, and I can learn to think like them. Every morning for the next 30 days, Arjun read these new beliefs out loud. Not once, 10 times, out loud, even though it felt strange, even though his own voice sounded like a liar to his ears. Every night before sleep, he closed his eyes and visualized himself as a wealthy man. He didn't know exactly how he would get there, but he pictured himself standing tall, wearing clean clothes, helping others, paying bills with ease. At first, nothing changed. The first week, nothing. The second week, nothing. But then, something subtle shifted. Arjun started noticing things he had never seen before. While walking through the market, he saw people struggling to carry heavy grocery bags. Old people, busy mothers, shop owners with no delivery system. His old brain would have seen nothing. His new brain saw a problem that needed a solution. He thought, what if I offered to deliver groceries for a small fee? His old brain would have said, you don't have a bicycle, you don't have customers, you'll fail. But his new brain had been trained for 30 days to ask, how can I afford it? How can I solve this? He borrowed a bicycle from a neighbor. He printed simple flyers by hand. He offered delivery for half the price of the nearest competitor. The first week, 3 customers. The second week, 12. The third week, he hired his first helper. Within 6 months, he had 5 bicycles and a small team. Within a year, a delivery service. Within 2 years, a logistics company. Arjun did not win a lottery. He did not inherit money. He did not meet a rich uncle. He changed his mind, and his world changed to match it. Part 4. The science behind the story. Now, you might be thinking, that's a nice story, but is there real science behind it? Absolutely. Let me give you 3 scientific principles that explain exactly what happened to Arjun. Principle 1. Reticular Activating System, RS. You have a network of neurons in your brain called the Reticular Activating System. Its job is to filter information. Every second, your brain receives 11 million bits of information, but you can only consciously process about 50 bits per second. Your RAS decides which 50 bits you notice, and it chooses based on what you believe is important. When Arjun believed, I'm poor and unlucky, his RAS filtered out every opportunity. When he changed his belief to, I solve problems and earn money, his RAS suddenly showed him the grocery delivery opportunity. The world didn't change, his filter changed. Principle 2. Neuroplasticity. Every time you repeat a thought, you strengthen a neural pathway. Think of it like a path in a forest. The first time you walk through, it's hard. The 10th time, it's easier. The 100th time, it's a highway. Arjun had spent 30 years strengthening the neural pathways of poverty. But in 30 days of deliberate practice, he started building new pathways of wealth. The old pathways didn't disappear, but new ones became stronger. Principle 3. The expectation effect. Numerous studies have shown that what you expect to happen influences what actually happens. In one famous study, hotel maids were told that their work counted as exercise. They were not given any new routine. They were just told that their existing work met the Surgeon General's exercise recommendations. 4 weeks later, without any change in behavior, these maids had lost weight, lowered blood pressure, and improved body fat percentage, simply because their expectation changed. Arjun expected to find opportunities, so he did. He expected to become wealthy, so he did. Not by magic, by the physics of the mind. Based on Arjun's story and decades of research on wealthy mindsets, here are the 5 mental shifts that separate poverty thinking from wealth thinking. Shift number 1, from scarcity to abundance. The poor mindset says, there's not enough for everyone. If someone else wins, I lose. The wealthy mindset says, there is more than enough. Value is created, not divided. I can create my own slice. Action step. Every time you feel jealous of someone's success, say to yourself, their success proves that success is possible. Shift number 2, from fixed to growth. The poor mindset says, I am what I am. I can't learn that. I'm not talented. The wealthy mindset says, I can learn anything I commit to. Skills are built, not born. Action step. Add the word yet to every limitation. I don't know how, yet. Shift number 3, from victim to creator. The poor mindset says, life happens to me. The economy is bad. My boss is unfair. The wealthy mindset says, life responds to me. I create my circumstances through my choices. Action step. For 1 week, remove the words can't, should, and have to from your vocabulary. Replace them with choose to, will, and I decide. Shift number 4, from fear of failure to love of learning. The poor mindset says, if I fail, I'll look stupid. I'll lose everything. Failure is the end. The wealthy mindset says, failure is feedback. Every mistake teaches me what doesn't work. I fail forward. Action step. Set a goal to fail at least 3 times this week at something small, not big failures, small experiments. Train your brain that failure is not fatal. Shift number 5, from comfort to growth. The poor mindset says, I just want to be comfortable. Don't rock the boat. The wealthy mindset says, growth is uncomfortable, and discomfort is the price of progress. Action step, every day. Do one thing that makes you slightly uncomfortable. A conversation you've been avoiding. A skill you're afraid to learn. A risk you're scared to take. Arjun made all 5 of these shifts, not overnight, but one day at a time, one belief at a time, one action at a time. So here's the question you need to ask yourself tonight. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. What beliefs are running my life without my permission? What do I believe about money that isn't really true? What do I believe about myself that my own mother would disagree with? What have I accepted as just the way things are that is actually just a story I've been telling myself? Arjun sat on a park bench in the rain for one night, just one night, and he asked himself these questions. That night changed his entire life. You don't need a torn book on a park bench. You don't need years of therapy. You don't need a lottery ticket. You need 5 minutes of brutal honesty with yourself. Because here's the truth that will either set you free or haunt you forever. Your current life is a perfect mirror of your current beliefs. If you believe you're poor, you will find evidence. If you believe you're stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe you're unworthy, you will reject opportunities. And if you believe you can grow, you will. If you believe you can learn, you will. If you believe you deserve wealth, your brain will find a way to create it. The power is not outside you. It never was. It never will be. The power is between your ears, inside your skull, hidden in the 3 pounds of neural tissue that scientists say is the most complex object in the known universe. That is your fortune. That is your inheritance. That is your superpower.